Hi, I'm Bob Sweeney with the City of Juneau Cable TV, Channel 991, here at the police station with Chief of Police Dave Beal. Well, he'll talk to us about what's happening in the City of Juneau concerning the police. Dave?
Hey, well, we'll start off with National Night Out. That's coming up August 2nd, which is the first Tuesday of the month, and that'll be held here at the Public Safety Building from 5 p.m. till 8 p.m. The Fire Department, EMS, the City DPW, the Electric Department, the Library, the Rec Department will all be a part of that, along with other outside agencies. We'll have a bounce house for the kids and other displays, face painting. It sounds like the dunk tank. Not quite sure if I'll be going in it this year though. That's kind of brutal on my body.
So that's similar to what happened last year, is that correct?
Correct.
And that went over well with other departments?
It did. Before COVID struck, we had the other departments involved, and it went over well. And then, of course, we had to take that break with COVID. But last year, we were able to bring it back, and we're looking to grow and make it better. And the community came out and supported it pretty good. So we're hoping that more community members see that and come on down and check us out and get to know us. And
Okay, again, when is that?
again, it's on Tuesday, the first Tuesday of August 2nd, from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. The EMS and fire department are always looking for new members, so that's a good time to come and take a look around at the equipment and talk to EMS and fire department members and maybe pick up an application and help out the community.
Okay, you talk about them needing more people. When I hear that, it's all over the nation, I think. But how is your department doing as far as people working for it?
We're at full staff right now. We did apply for a federal grant for another full-time position. Hopefully we get that because we're overdue for another full-time person. I think the last time we added personnel to the department was 1990, I believe.
So you're looking to have 5 people on the department.
Correct.
Now, grants don't last forever.
No, they don't. This would be a 25-75 split that the federal government would pay 75% for the first 3 years, and then after that, the city would be responsible for funding that position fully.
And the city's going to increase its tax base that much in those 3 years to support that position.
Well, I don't know, but we need another officer based on our call volume and the types of calls that we handle, and maybe there needs to be some adjustments made throughout the budget to support that. But we're at a time where we desperately need another position.
Okay, good. What else do you have going on?
So, of course, the weed notices and city ordinance violations, the blowing grass out into the roadway, the unkept lawns, and the growth of weeds and burdocks on some of the people's property. And it's kind of amazing to think that some of the same houses that had that problem last summer have it this summer again. So, but we're to the point now where if you're going to be one of these habitual offenders, not only will you be given notice to take care of it, and if you don't, the city crew will come out and take care of it, and then you will be billed for those services, but you're also going to receive a citation. I mean, why do we need to send a notice to the same person and remind them to take care of their property? Nothing has changed from year to year. So yeah, you may get a $200 ticket to go with the bill that you might get from the city if you don't take care of it.
So, take care of your property.
That's the bottom line. Take care of your property, be a good neighbor, and life is good then.
Okay.
So this past month we had a significant drug bust in the city where we executed a search warrant on a residence and took at least one person into custody, and that person I think has at least one felony charge and a couple misdemeanor charges that he has to appear in court on now on account of that drug warrant.
So this is a seller, a distributor?
Yeah, he sold and had in his possession drugs, so yeah.
Okay. This was done through a task force?
This was done through the Dodge County Drug Task Force, which we're a member of, but it was our investigation that started it, and then we incorporated them into it to assist because we needed a lot of bodies.
Yeah.
I think that night we had 12 of us that went out on it. And
Okay, do you have anything else?
let's see what else is going on in town here.
Well, let me talk to you about what's been happening, nationwide. Small communities, large communities, no one's immune to this gun violence that we've been seeing. What kind of steps is the City of Juneau taking to try to prepare for something like that?
Well, I mean, like if there's a business or, God forbid, ever at one of our schools, we do yearly trainings. We have drills at the school for this. I can guarantee you this, that if there's ever a call for an active shooter, we are trained to go in and take out the threat. That's what we will be doing. There won't be any standing around trying to figure out if it's a hostage or an active shooter situation or whatever. The first couple officers on scene, and even if I'm by myself, my job is to go in and take the threat out, period.
Okay.
You don't wait. We don't wait for backup in that case.
So you do it with the schools, and that's Dodgeland. Do you get associated with other communities, schools, say Horicon or Eustisford, associated with that?
We when we hold our drills, we'll invite the other police agencies from the other communities. So be it Beaver Dam, Horicon, because if we have an incident, they're coming.
Right.
They're coming, just like when they have drills and when they do the larger scale ones, they'll invite us over and we get to familiarize ourselves a little bit with the school building and that. So yeah, we train together. Everybody in Dodge County has had the same training as to what to do in the event of an active shooter even in a business setting.
Right.
Basically it's the same thing, just different. So no, there would not be any hesitation or what should we do, because we know we have trained for it. We know, as much as I don't want to lose a squad car, being that we just lost 2 of them last year. If I have to take that squad car through a door to get into that building, that's what we're going to do. So without a doubt, there would not be any hesitation on my part or anybody else within my department to get into that building and stop the threat.
Right, Dodgeland has just did some upgrading of its facilities, so it's important to go back in that building and see what it's like, isn't it?
It is. It's very important. So we'll be doing that. Construction is still going on. That should end in
Next month, right?
End of August.
Yeah.
We're hoping to have the open house. The school is at the end of August on the 28th, I believe it is. But yeah, we'll be going in there and touring it and making ourselves very familiar with the layout and the changes. And
Okay, so those are the yearly drills. Is there any other preparation throughout the year that you do, say perhaps with the Dodge County Sheriff's Office, to talk about things like this, or not?
yeah, no, we always have discussions and and that, and as the executive group in Dodge County, we're all the police chiefs. The Dodge County Executive Law Enforcement Association is made up of all the police chiefs, prison wardens, the sheriff, the DA. At those level meetings, we have discussions, and then emergency management also is involved with that, and we have discussions, and
And you meet monthly?
we meet monthly. That group does.
Mm-hmm.
But even in informal settings, especially when something happens across the country, we have conversations, be it through email or in person, but the big thing is that we have a plan, and it's the same throughout the county. So if I get called to Lamira, I know what the plan is. And vice versa. So I feel very confident in Dodge County, what you may have seen or read in Texas, and I'm sure they're still sifting through all that as to what's true and what isn't true. But you won't see any of us standing around waiting to go in.
I don't think anybody will anymore.
What's that?
Anyplace. I don't think anybody will anymore after this incident in Texas.
You would hope not.
Yeah.
And again, I don't want to speculate because I wasn't there, and I certainly have only read some articles on it and seen the news, but not knowing what information they had, there may have been a reason why they thought they should do what they did, and whatever. So
from what I've read, it also seems to be a question about who was in charge, and that's always a problem, isn't it?
well, and again, it doesn't matter what your rank is.
Yeah.
First person on scene basically is in charge until they're relieved by a higher up.
Yeah.
Me being the first person, if I'm the first person, I'm considered in charge, but I'm also going into that building. I'm not standing out in the parking lot with my clipboard.
Yeah. Okay, that's kind of a. I hope we have something else to talk about. Do you have anything else you need to tell?
Well, no, but that is just to kind of wrap that up. That is a very important discussion, and something that I think people want to hear about, especially the parents that have children in school, that we are prepared, and we will take out that threat. That's what we're trained to do, and that's what we will do.
Okay.
But other than that, things are going good at the police department. It's been a busy summer, not just with ordinance violations, but that's a huge part of it. And some people may question that or complain, well, why are you enforcing that? Well, ordinance violations are very important to enforce because it affects the quality of living that we have in our community. If I lived next door to a property that was unkept, that would adversely affect my property, and it's an eyesore. Who wants to look at that kind of stuff? And also, it's a huge reflection on the city overall. Sometimes you drive through a community and you see a lot of junk and all that kind of stuff, and unkept lawns where it's knee high and whatever, and your impression is, oh, that's a dumpy town.
Yeah.
We don't want that image, so we're busy with ordinance violations and talking about ordinances. That triggered a recent thing from public safety that we had some citizens come forward and ask about creating and allowing chickens. I guess those are egg-laying hens, to be allowed in the city, and So the Public Safety Committee, along with the Plan Commission, are going to take a look at that and possibly create a pilot program before they make it into an ordinance and see where that goes.
Other communities have agreed to allow them, haven't they?
There has been some in the area.
And did you check with them to see how things are going?
I haven't personally reached out to them yet. We did get copies of their ordinances to see how theirs are worded. Because why reinvent the wheel on something like that? But we can tweak it to make it fit Juneau. Depending upon who you talk to, some people say, I don't care if there's chickens in town, and then other people are concerned about the smell and this noise and that kind of stuff. And then the other side can argue back that a dog or whatever makes more noise. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out, and
So stay tuned, huh?
stay tuned. I know they're talking that if they do this pilot program, that they'd probably issue X amount of permits, knowing that the people would have to understand and know and realize that it is a pilot program, so it could end. So whatever money you have invested in a chicken coop and that kind of stuff, you may only be able to have it for 1 year.
It seems to me that somebody who would want to take a step into that direction, they would have some kind of idea of what's going on with chickens. It's not something like, oh, gee, I think I'll have a pet, I'll have a dog. It's not the same thing as having chickens.
No, it's not. And for people that think it's treated as a novelty item,
They shouldn't do it, should they?
they shouldn't do it. Because you don't properly care for them and they overheat, they're gonna die. Or you don't maintain the chicken coop and keep it clean, you're gonna attract rodents, and that's the last thing that we want to have is rats in the backyard or possums or whatever else likes to eat a chicken. So there's definitely pros and cons. I don't know if at the end of the day you would save any money by having your own chickens when you factor in the housing and the feed and
You don't save any money with a dog either.
No, sometimes those vet bills can get pretty costly.
Yes.
So, and again, we'll see how it plays out.
Okay.
And yeah, looking for feedback. The city council is looking for feedback. So, if any citizens have any comments either for or against, they should share it with the council members, and that'll help drive the bus forward on what direction they should go. So
Okay. Any other ideas?
I don't think there's anything else out there other than that one came up as far as possible changes to city ordinances. But yeah, just remember, cut your grass. Don't blow it out into the roadway.
That really causes some problems with the sewer department, doesn't it?
What the storm sewer? Well, first off, just at the grate itself,
Yeah.
the grass gets caught there, and then it backs up the water from emptying into the drain itself. But it can cause backups and plug pipes and that. Plus, it's not good for the environment either. But and of course the safety side of it too, for motorcycle drivers and bicyclists, they can get on that grass if it's blown out into the road and cause them to slide and wipe out or not be able to brake safely. So definitely more things to think of when you think, well, what's that gonna hurt? It can hurt a lot if you wipe out a motorcycle and get road rash burns and that. So those are the two hot things that were, along with junk vehicles, of course, and other garbage in people's yards.
Well, it's good that those are the only significant problems that we have here in the city of Juneau.
Well, those are the ordinance violations. The rest of the stuff, unfortunately, due to privacy laws, we just don't talk about. But with that said, we have drugs here.
Yeah.
We have sex crimes. We have all the other crimes that the big city has. Fortunately, we don't have the homicides. And we just don't have the number. But the number is driven by population.
Right.
If we had more people living here, we'd have more crimes committed. That's just how it works. But we still have the same types of crimes, like I said, minus the homicides so far, which I'm very happy about. Overall, Juneau is a good community, a safe community, and we want to keep it that way. We want people to come and live here and feel safe when they send their kids to school and that. So yeah, Juneau's a great place.
All right. Well, thank you.
Okay, thank you. And it's my understanding that this is probably our last interview together. So,
Yeah, I think that's right.
yeah, it's certainly been a pleasure, and I enjoyed our times that we were able to sit down and do this. So
Okay, good.
this is happy retirement number 2, right?
Yes.
So,
Okay, thank you.
okay.